sometimes
I couldn't get. They didn't tell us anything though.
They just got together. That was very basic.
Yeah, there was nothing told.
No, because she was spending too much time being descriptive on shit that didn't matter. So the host just said, "We haven't got time for you to go through all this. I'm sure you had a good time. Do you want to see him again?"
Yeah. They should have went like day 1 we did this, day 2 we ended up doing this, day 3 is this. She's like, we couldn't go to bed early, so we went to bed late because we had to get up early for things. We're like, what?
And the kids and the restaurant.
And then we had 20 minutes of kissing. Every time she has 10 minutes each kiss. So
yeah,
that was half the show right there.
What about this one?
This is a good one here. Look at she looks like the lady at the baseball field. He used to have the nacho cheese.
and she has problems with the men she meets at work. And she
24, oh my God.
What she calls
She's a 34, 24-year-old.
No, weird, man. Ooh, the shoulder pads. Look at her. These 80s shoulder pads.
Well, tell me about the 3B Club, Deb.
The 3B Club is men that are bald, boring, and broke.
Oh, so that's you don't want anything to do with those guys.
No way.
You keep them out of your backyard. Oh, what else? What else turns you off in a man?
All the bald guys are crying. There's like
I
20-year-old
don't
bald
like
guys.
guys
Or what?
No, guys that wear sandals.
Got enough
and boots
hair
and
for all
stuff.
of them.
Well, what's wrong with that?
I think sandals are feminine,
Oh,
and I like.
you like those thongs?
She's from down south though. They're built
Like guys that go
different. Those
barefoot in the
women.
hot sand? How masculine are we talking about here?
Just wear the sandals. Don't make me explain it.
How much things get too tough on you now? Well, now, what kind of problems do you run into with men at work? You said you just have a tough time with them.
Well, I'm a waitress and I bartend sometimes,
Yeah, sure.
and we have to wear real tight uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's always guys that are trying to come on to you and giving you lines. And
Yeah.
I find the guys out here in California, I'm not knocking California, I love it, but the guys are really forward.
Are they forward? More so than
Welcome to America, boo.
Houston.
Welcome to the
That's
West.
a very friendly city, Houston. I have some good friends in Houston. But men in California are very forward with you.
And very aggressive, and they just don't know when to stop. And sometimes you just have to stop being nice to them and say, look,
Yeah.
this is the way it is, and put them in their place.
Well, you can do that, though, eh?
Yeah, but you hate to have to get ugly with people.
I see. Well, maybe you won't have to anymore after the show, though. I'll be watching and never do it again.
She's 80s.
We're going to take a look at the men that Debbie had to choose from. Now, remember, you're going to pick the man
pads,
that you
big
think's best.
hair.
Here we go.
Blonde.
First, there was David. He likes baseball and fishing. He prefers
Oh,
dating
look at this
women
guy.
between the
How old
ages
is he?
of 21
Quickly,
and
how old is he?
26. He says that he has no trouble meeting women, but he hasn't been dating much lately.
You gotta subtract.
I'm very choosy. There's a lot of nights I'll go out with my buddies, have a great time, and I won't ask any of them for dates or any numbers. So it's not really important how many.
the hair on his chest
it's quality.
is 57
All right,
years
next was
old.
Ken. His hobbies include water skiing and woman watching. Dates about once a
He's
week.
probably like 26.
Here's why he tries to, or what he tries to avoid an argument on
Oh,
a date.
wow.
Right.
So-
I don't like to argue with women because honestly, a lot of women, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. It usually comes up.
Are you
You're
high,
wrong.
bro?
So that's what I want to argue with them. I just okay. That's what he
He's
feels.
drunk.
That's
He's on
why he
something.
avoids arguments with women. Finally, Darren, who's originally from Vancouver, Washington, enjoys scuba diving, jogging on the beach. He says that he keeps asking out married women.
Who's she gonna pick?
Here's how he usually finds out.
She's gonna pick the
I've been to
fucking
places,
first guy.
So Darren, we can't go there. Or you're parking at 7-Eleven. We'll park in the dark because our husbands have been a state cop. Slow down. If we can't be over here, it's a bummer.
What the fuck are these guys? What clips did they
Who do you
pick?
think would be the best man for?
Probably number two. Number one lost out because he had a suit from
We're going
fucking
to take a break. When we
15
come back,
years
we'll meet the
ago
man
on.
that Debbie selected. We're going to hear everything that happened on their date, and we'll do that in 2 and 2. Be right back.
We'll be right back.
This is the $1 billion black tiger strategy that Kylie Cosmetics used to do over $400 million in.
Okay, we're back. Debbie's going to tell us who she selected.
I chose Darren.
She chose down. All right.
As far as looks, though, I get that for her. They look more compatible.
That's who I was thinking.
But when he's talking all that pulling over in the dark shit, I was like, oh no.
Tell me about the date, Debbie.
Well, I called Darren, and we talked on the phone for quite a while and got to know each other real well. And so then I went to pick him up, and I'm not from California, and I've only been out here about a month and a half.
We can tell that.
She's not from California. Are you kidding me? I thought she was from LA.
She'd only been there for about a month and a half.
That's why she was telling. That's why the LA women be like, "Hi, like they want you. Got to have that money. You got to have shit because men is coming out." But see, that's how it is across the board nowadays.
Mhm.
Like, men just be so thirsty. I'm like, oh god, I come from the '80s. Y'all are different. Y'all are built different. Oh, y'all watch too much porn.
So she went to pick him up as well. Like it still throws me, this whole the
I think
girls.
part of it is the structure, I think, of the show. Like if you're the main dater, then you go pick up your date up. Period. I don't think it has to do with gender. I think it's just that she's more of like the center.
Have you heard a guy pick up a girl yet? I did not. In the ones that we watched yesterday.
Yeah, maybe we'll run across one because I think there's another date after this particular one. I like these 80s. Those 88 is
so good. They're so good.
It's like super
so
good. You couldn't write this shit.
It's like you want to look away, but you can't look away.
Right. Here we go. If I disappear off the screen for a second, that means I want to pee.
All right. Thanks for that.
And
We've only been here a month and a half.
Right.
Boy, you're really new. Surprise for in store for you.
It took me quite a while to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And I got there, and Darren opened the door, and he had roses for me.
Well, that's nice.
And, yeah, it was real nice. And Darren's a real good-looking guy, and he has real strong facial features.
Mm-hmm.
And,
So it was appealing to you.
right.
What did you think of Debbie when you saw her, Darren?
Well, when she got there, an hour and a half late,
Oh.
and I started at her face, and she's really attractive. She had a really nice face. And when I looked at her, I started at her face and worked down to her body, and she was wearing a purple jacket, and it had these pads in the jacket, so I felt like I was going to a football game. So at the time, I felt like she was a little on the chunky side. So, I just laid back and talked to her.
Yeah.
I can't believe he just said this on national television.
You have no idea how many times I feel like that. So what happened next?
Well, okay, so from there we went to the restaurant, and he wanted to drive, so that was fine with me.
Mm-hmm.
And we got there, we were kind of late, but we still made our reservations, and we had a big view of California and everything. It was nice. So we sat there and had dinner. It was nice.
Yeah, he's extra.
And,
all right, so
we went
there's
back to
certain
Darren's
things I
house,
peep out just being, like lived in LA. He's very, very like LA, Southern Cali. I could see it right away the way he was talking. He's a little sharper. He's a little more Southern Cali. And then if you noticed, he was like, she had some football jacket because
she was a little chunky. She was a little chunky, is what he said.
Oh, she doesn't look very chunky though. That's the thing. Maybe
that's what he thought she was. He thought she was chunky.
Oh, so she was trying to hide it
in the big puffy jacket.
I mean, I can imagine myself saying that now in 2024. A little bit chunkier than we aren't we? The picture. Chunky was like you're not fat. You just got some chunk, like chunk from fucking Goonies, fucking chunk.
She had massive pads on though. She was like going to play football.
That's what I was thinking. It's the football pad thing. Then she's got a big ass Southern girl, Houston, whatever the fuck, cowboy coat bullshit on, and he's like, "What the fuck is this silly ass shit?"
Yeah.
This girl must be high. Only girls in it. Girls. See, he's used to those LA modern women that are hiding something if they got a big ass coat like that. There's an ulterior motive here behind that coat because nobody would purposefully. I'm getting a cramp. Nobody would purposefully like wear that fucking coat. But you're talking to Miss Houston, sir. So. Welcome to those people in the South were not known to be the style mongers. I'll tell you that right now. All right, here we go. Back to action. This is a funny day. This is an interesting day.
This is so funny. I want to know what
It was 4 o'clock in the morning because I didn't.
4 in the morning?
I didn't even get to Darren's house until like 9:30.
Well, it sounds like you. I mean, you might be just a little bit nervous. I know you are, and that's okay. I understand that. But it sounds like you all really like each other. Then, am I correct in saying that, or assuming that, Darren?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, when I talked to her on the phone,
very convincing.
Let me rewind this.
So surprise. Is it Severson, Darren?
Severson.
Gotcha. Okay, make yourself at home back there. All right. Tell me about the date, Debbie.
Well, I called Darren and we talked on the phone for quite a while and got to know each other real well. And so then I went to pick him up, and I'm not from California, and I've only been out here about a month and a half.
We can tell that.
And
You've only been here a month and a half.
Right.
Boy, you're really new. Surprise for in store for you.
It took me quite a while to get there.
See?
And I got there, and Darren opened the door, and he had roses for me.
Oh, that's nice.
And yeah, it was real nice. And Darren's a real good-looking guy, and he has real strong facial features.
Uh-huh.
And,
So it was appealing to you.
right.
What did you think of Debbie when you saw her, Darren?
well, when she got there, an hour and a half late,
Oh,
and I started at her face, and she's really attractive. She had a really nice face. And when I looked at her, I started at her face and worked down to her body, and she was wearing a purple jacket, and it had these pads in the jacket, so I felt like I was going to a football game. So at the time, I felt like she was a little on the chunky side. So I just laid back and talked to her.
yeah.
I can't.
Oh, the coat made him think that she was chunky.
Chunky.
You don't like that term. You ever heard that one before?
Yeah, no. Chunky is chunky. I get it. You're chunky. Chunky thighs, chunky. Got it.
Shit, he's still like, hey, look, Chunky's in style now, so shit, you know what I mean? She's just not from LA. She ain't with the LA style. It was probably cold too. Probably had them breath. If you only got one fucking coat and it's chilly outside, like you gonna put that big ass coat on with the pads. Anyway, you gotta go. It's getting late. We'll finish this up.
Chunky.
That's what I should tell him.
You have no idea how
He's
many times I feel like that.
Yeah. He cleaned it up though. That wasn't that bad. That's okay. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
And he wanted to drive, so that was fine with me. And we got there. We were kind of late, but we still made a reservation.
Well,
and
for the
we had
80s, that was okay. Like
he wasn't rude, but she's embarrassed that he said that he thought she was chunky.
Well, because it's a judgment on her style, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. It shows that she's not with the styles and she had this big ass coat on. But you know, she's a modest, probably Christian woman from Texas. Like, I get it. Like they're modest. Like, not so much now. All these women are like real housewives, but yeah. Of everywhere.
big view of California and everything. It was nice. So we sat there and had dinner. It was a nice dinner. Then we went back to Darren's house, and by this time, it was 4 o'clock in the morning because I didn't.
4 in the morning?
I didn't even get to Darren's house until like 9:30.
Well, it sounds like you. I mean, you love.
Yeah, they went to dinner and then it was 4 in the morning. Where the fuck did y'all go?
It sounds like you all really like each other. Then
They need more time.
Checking out the chunky. He was checking out the chunky.
I mean, he's all up on that
When I talked to her on the phone,
very convincing.
Hold on.
All over California.
When I talked to her on the phone, I never asked her what she looked like. I just wanted to talk to her, see what kind of person she was. I asked what kind of hair you had.
And how tall I was.
Well, that's not how you're built or anything.
Hair and
but
height.
that doesn't make any difference to me.
Well, now, what happened after at 4? It's 4 o'clock in the morning. What are you? You know where your parents are? I mean,
He's got some class. He knows how to speak. Some of these guys don't know how to speak.
Well, it was
Well,
late.
if you're embarrassed by this, you don't have to tell me. I mean,
Well, no, because it was late, and so I went ahead and stayed the night at Darren's house.
I see.
I really didn't know how to
Well,
get
now,
back
see, they
home.
immediately
I
assume.
know. See, I knew that was going to happen.
Well, then tell them what happened.
Well,
Little Christian girl just got caught out.
Well, that's all right. Just plow right on.
I stayed on Darren's couch.
There you go.
I woke up the next
And where were
morning.
you, Darren?
I was in my bed. During our dinner talk, she explained at least 20 times that if I dogged her out on television, she would hunt me down and kill me.
Yeah.
She did.
Well, I think if I were you, I'd go underground for some time. Yeah. Well, you got up the next morning. How the date end? What? You're okay. You're all right. You've exonerated yourself. The couch, the bedroom. It's okay. Everybody's
Okay.
So the next morning you wake up at what? 12 o'clock? 11?
No, because I had to get home.
Oh.
And so I guess it was like
7.
7.
Oh, 3 hours sleep. Great.
And I got in my car and went home. Oh, I kissed Darren. We had a nice kiss. And
I'm going to let you off the hook here. I mean,
This is funny.
I've been reeling you
She's
in.
like wants to crawl out of her own skin.
She's so fucking overwhelmed.
You got one, Darren. 61%. If you'd like to go out with Darren again, we'd be happy to pay for it. Take our audience advice. Yes?
I don't know. He said some fruit. No, I'd love to go out there again.
You bet.
Darren?
You bet.
Come on.
I mean, they don't really tell you anything. They didn't really tell us what was going on their date. Oh, he almost looked shorter than her, but it's those heels. And
Yeah.
he's
Like I
good.
said, Debbie, you were a good sport. Thank you, honey, for coming on the show. We enjoyed having you both. As a matter
He
of
would look
fact,
so much better with
Thank you for
shorter
listening.
hair.
We have a nice gift for you. Stay in touch. Will you do that?
That hair he's got is just horrible.